Welcome to my Phasmophobia Ghost tier list. Keep in mind, this tier list is based on game knowledge but majorly influenced by my Phasmophobia co-op experience. So before I dive right into forming a hierarchy of Phasmophobia ghosts, I want to say that clues or evidence are somewhat big determinants of how spooky a ghost is. For example, EMF5 has been a bit weird recently, where it hasn't been showing up on the reader right away, making the investigation rather spooky as you spend more time in there, making you prone to more hunts. Okay, so let me just introduce a tier list. Alright, we've got the S tier, which is max spooky, yeah? Then we've got the A tier, which is spoopy. I'll put B as manageable. And then C as easy clap. And D, which will be annoying. Like, what can be easier than easy clap? So I'm just putting D as its own like category because there are just some annoying aspects of those certain ghosts. All right. So we'll start out with our first ghost, which is the Banshee. All right. The Banshee is a special ghost. It only targets one person at a time, and it stalks you when it's not hunting. And what's interesting and what makes it really creepy is that it starts playing this creepy music while it stalks you. Now, to counter this, or to counter the Banshee in general, you can place a crucifix, because Banshees fear the crucifix, and it's therefore more effective. So it's great in small rooms, but in large rooms like in prison, or especially the big lecture halls in the high school, this can be bad. Like, they may not be as effective. So I'm actually putting Banshee in S tier. That's our first S tier. Or first ghost, first S tier. Alright, next we have the Demon. So the Demon is said to be one of the worst ghosts, but I have mixed feelings about that statement. I've been into matches where, especially in the asylum, where we were constantly hunted by a demon and we had no chance to investigate or find clues or get other objectives. So that kind of just made the game unplayable and not fun. So the demon's highly aggressive and therefore it hunts more. That's justified. And it can be countered by placing crucifixes, which again is just like the Banshee, it's variable with room size. And a fun fact is asking the demon questions on the Ouija board does not lower your sanity. So if you find a Ouija board and start asking it questions, and you compare the sanity meter in the truck, and it doesn't go down, it's a demon. But to be honest, more than it being scary, they're more of an inconvenience for me. So I'm gonna put a demon in just the annoying category. They are not a threat, I would say. All right, the next ghost is a Jinn. The Jinn is a territorial ghost, and therefore it's easier to find its favorite room. It attacks when threatened, apparently, but I don't know if I've seen this as often. It travels at high speeds, and it has special abilities. So, one of its abilities is to travel at high speed and teleport, but it slows down when it's close to you, and this can be dealt with or countered by turning off the breaker or the power. These special abilities are enabled when the power is on. So that's why you'd want to turn off the breaker. You also, when you also turn off the breaker, you disable its other special ability where it can drop 25% of your sanity. So that just means that it can enable more hunts, right? Lower sanity, more hunts. And a fun fact is that Jinns can easily turn, well, not easily, we don't know how easy it is, but they can turn the power back on. So for me, a Jinn is like a manageable ghost because it can be like countered by turning the breaker off. Ooh, the next ghost is a Mare. So I would say a Mare is kind of like the opposite of a Jinn. It used to be a menacing ghost for me because the game is a lot scarier when you're in the dark and when you're starting off because you don't know the map really well. But a Mare can be dealt with by remaining in lit areas and keeping the lights on. It will often try to turn the breaker off compared to other ghosts. So for me, again, just like the Jinn, I'm going to put a Mare in the manageable category. All right, next we have the Oni. All right, Onis have been bullied a lot by my friends and, I would say most players. It's an aggressive ghost. But I thought it was the most fun to interact with. It's really active when more people are around. So you can threaten it a lot, and it reveals itself pretty early. It gives more evidence, which is good for fast missions. You get objectives easily. So I would put Oni. Oh, wait. Yeah, I would put Oni at easy clap. It wanders around the ghost room, and during the hunt, there's nothing to actually help it or boost it, catch up to you, as you might see with other ghosts, right? So that's why I'm going to put it at easy clap. All right, next we have the Phantom. So the thing about a Phantom is that it's known to drop the sanity, right? When it drops sanity, you can get hunted a lot easier. So if you take a picture of it, it will temporarily disable. And apparently it's less visible during hunts. So it flashes or it appears less frequently, right? So it's harder to see. And this way, during a hunt, it can make it difficult to loop a Phantom around tables or chairs. That's why I'm going to put a Phantom at A tier, spoopy. Also, the thing about EMF 5, so the evidence required for detecting a Phantom is EMF 5, orbs, and freezing. Orbs and freezing are fairly easy, right? They're common. EMF 5 has been a bit buggy recently, and it's kind of hard to detect. That's why I'm also going to put the Phantom at A tier, where it is. Next, we have the Poltergeist. The Poltergeist is a noisy ghost, right? It throws things around, it's quite obvious, and when it throws things around, it can drop your sanity. But by the time it effectively drops your sanity to hunt, you pretty much have most pieces of evidence, right? So to counter Poltergeist, you can just start taking things out of the room. You can, because it's ineffective in an empty room. But moving things out of the room just can be a chore, like if you have done many hunts. But it can be a pretty fun activity if you just want to mess around with it, right? So I'm gonna put a Poltergeist in as a manageable ghost. All right, next we have the Revenant. Revenant is okay. Who you have to be scared of this ghost. I'm already gonna put it at max spoopy, but here's the justification. A Revenant attacks anyone, not the closest target, not a specific person, and it can change the target mid-hunt. And that's why I've confused it so many times with a spirit, because sometimes a spirit has also done it. But we're going on a tangent there. Back to Revenant. Hiding from a Revenant slows it down. But to be honest, good luck hiding in the first place. Because when it hunts, it travels faster than any other ghost if the victim is in line of sight. So when investigating, always have an escape route in mind, and smudge sticks can help during the hunt. So what I'll do is just pause it for about 3 seconds, and kind of cause it to wander unless you are in line of sight. So there we go. Revenant max spoopy. All right, next we have the Shade, the shy ghost. The thing with the Shade is it creates a problem when trying to find evidence. You have to split up. So it can be a pain in the ass, it can be a pain to find clues and investigate, right? You will probably have a safer experience when together, unless your sanity is really low. And if you have an objective like capture a photo of the ghost, you can just think, or you can just forget about the objective. You will never be able to get the objective. The thing is, I've always played on cooperative mode, so I don't know how effective or how scary a Shade is in solo, right? So I'm gonna put Shade at D because I would just say it's annoying. Instead of it being threatening, it just becomes annoying, especially when in a large group. Now we have the Spirit. Ooh, this gives me PTSD, guys. The thing about Spirit is it's a common ghost, right? Often it will be ranked very low on the list. However, it's really powerful and dangerous. Although it has no special strength, the reason I say I've had PTSD is because I've been killed by a spirit the most. And that's because they have a weird hunting pattern. They basically won't do anything. And they won't do anything for the first couple of minutes when you're in the room. It's kind of like a revenant. They won't interact with you. But when they start hunting, they can catch up to you somehow. And sometimes I feel that they switch a target mid-hunt. I mean, that's just personal experience. That's why I'm putting it at max spoopy, because I haven't properly understood this ghost, and it's just really scary. And I've died to the spirit so many times. You have to just be playing with me to understand it. Anyways, we're moving on. Wraith. So the Wraith flies, right? It leaves no footprints or footsteps cannot be heard. It can see through doors and lockers and closets. Now that is quite scary, right? So if you ever want to hide inside a locker or a closet, which can be done in, what was it? Street houses. And if you have a Wraith and you haven't identified it, and you attempt to hide in a locker or a closet, oh, good luck to you, right? So Wraiths can go through walls as well. That's why they can also drop temperatures in multiple rooms or in hallways. They have a toxic reaction to salt. I really don't know what that does though, but I would say it just agitates the ghost and triggers more ghost events. And if you're a victim to a Wraith, it's a common Ghostbuster fact that you outrun them in hallways because they can easily cut corners and pass through walls. So they're kind of slightly trickier to, outrun, and kind of should have an escape route in mind, especially a hallway. So I would say that the Wraith is a A-tier spoopy ghost. And finally, we've got the Yurei. The Yurei drains sanity quicker during a ghost event, and it could lead to early hunts. Initially, Yurei's dropped your sanity or drained your sanity over time over a large area. This was really old, but it's been updated that it only drains during a ghost event. So the thing with a Yurei is that you can loop them around, you can outrun them. So basically, going back to the part where you were, it would drain your sanity when you were in the vicinity. That just meant that it would drain your sanity a lot faster. So I think the Yurei drains your sanity twice the speed of any other ghost during a ghost event now. So that just means the more ghost events you experience, the more your sanity will be drained. And that can lead to more more hunts, right? But say you smudge the Yurei room, and that would just prevent the Yurei from wandering around, and it just keeps it in that room. So unless you're in the room, you won't be experiencing that many ghost events. But however, this sanity drain a Yurei has is on multiple players. So honestly, for me, a Yurei is an easy clap ghost, right? It has no special boosts during a hunt other than it just draining your sanity. And I would say they've kind of nerfed it by making it only drain sanity during a ghost event. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. That's the end. That's my Phasmophobia ghost tier list. And yeah, guys, I hope you have a great day. Peace.